Hey there friends, thanks for checking in. Today we're looking at the Sig P211 GTO. Check that out. This is Sig's newest, latest, and greatest 9mm handgun. That's the way they're categorizing it. They say this is the hallmark of their 9mm handguns. Now, I fell in love with the P226 X5, which is also single action. I said, that thing is awesome. I have to have that one day. And then about 2.5 months, they released the P211 GTO. And here it is. It ships with a 23 and 221 round mags. Now, these are P320 compatible. This has a large spacer on there for 23 rounds, but no complaint there. I like that capacity, and the fact they ship with 3, I like that as well. These G10 grips are pretty aggressive. I like it. Flat mainspring housing, some texture on there, but the G10 grips that are black with a splash of white there, it says GTO. And then the front strap has the same texturing as the mainspring housing. I like the way Sig puts that indent in there for the middle finger. Has a nice feel on it. Now this is a steel frame, nitron finish, slide and frame, and the grip module is aluminum. So this has some weight. You're looking at 45.9 ounces. So you definitely have the benefit of the weight. A 4.4-inch bull barrel, I will show you once it's disassembled, and then a comp. A 3-slot comp right there on the sides and on top here, dispersing the gases. Sig says 30% reduction in recoil. I don't know if that's true, but it certainly helps. There's no doubt about that. So it's very low recoiling given the weight, the bull barrel, and the comp, which is a true comp, by the way. It's not just ports. Will decrease recoil significantly. 9mm, not much as it is, but hey, anything you could do to keep a flatter handgun, then you can go that way. It has a aluminum mag well that is removable. I like them. Nice base on the hand, and then you have easy mag swaps. Deep cut slide serration, see that? And then this goes all the way around to the top strap, all right, for those press checks. Real easy to do. Love the spring weight. Love that, and I dig this 3-slot pick rail, but the trigger, which is aluminum, Sig calls it 1911 like. It's a 1911 trigger, there's no doubt about that. And then I measured this and I said that's about a 3-pound trigger pull. And so I measured it with 5 pulls and it measured exactly at 3 pounds. That's crazy. I've never had that happen before. One, that I guessed it correctly, and secondly, it was 3.00 with 5 pulls, which is how you're supposed to do it. It is ambidextrous, so the thumb safety is ambidextrous and the slide stop, and that is nice for lefties. And the magazine release that sticks out quite a bit can be reversed over to the other side, making it completely ambidextrous for those lefties. It's a great shooting handgun. There's no doubt about that. For those who love this type of style of 2011, P11, so many different names to not have it 2011, because that is a staccato thing, but Sig created a nice handgun. Now, this is a Romeo X Pro. The Romeo X Pro is a closed emitter red dot. It has 2 separate reticles, the dot and then the circle. It has a very nice crisp scene right through. You can see a little blue tint right there, so as you look through that, the field of view is very nice and very precise too. It has some adjustments right there. And that has I think they call it a Sig lock footprint, but it's actually a Delta Point Pro. So that will be a direct mount, and you can see how that fits on there. And then with that direct mount, the tall rear sights, which are serrated black, and the fiber optic front sight perfectly co-witness. It's a great sight picture. There's no doubt about that. Other optics are available. This is a multi-footprint slide, but you may need a plate. I'm really not sure. I would just go with the Delta Point Pro or the Sig Romeo X Pro. That's what it is. But I like the way it's ambidextrous for those lefties. Now, if you go with this, you'll see it has two 21 round mags. All right, 23 round, 21 round. 3 of them, and then the front sight is a Dawson Precision, and they give you a couple posts and a little punch to punch it out and replace it. Red's available. And then here's the cover plate for those who want to go iron sights. Chamber flag, here it says GTO. This is wrapped around the grip, and then everything else, the paperwork, and then a shot pattern from the gentleman who tested the gun. And it comes in this Sig hard case. Taking a look at the internals, we'll look at the frame, the steel frame, alloy, grip module. There are the G10 grips. There's the flare. It is ambidextrous. This piece here can just come off like that. And you put it right back on. There's a look at the trigger. And then the bull barrel, you can't quite see it through the Mach 3D compensator. It has comps all throughout. And then there's a look at the bull barrel. 4.4 inches, and then here's the recoil spring guide rod assembly, and then the bushing for that little piece right there. And then here's a look at the slide. Very well machined. We've got the slide stop pin and everything else. Easy disassemble. I have to mention one thing though. When I shot this initially, I had to run 124 grain 9mm. Because the 115 grain had some stovepipes. And that was the premier issue, just some stovepipes. But once I ran some 124 through it, I had to run about 100 rounds. And then I was able to feed, fire, and eject the 115 grain. All right, so that's a sample of one. I'm not sure if that's just me, but that's what I experienced. But this thing is every bit of a staccato, if you will. Now, it's going for right around 2,500 bucks. All right, so you're going to pay for it, but compared to staccato, which I just mentioned, it's actually a way better deal. In my opinion, it just is, because staccatos, they cost some money, and there are some out there, but this has the comp on there. And very nice. If you look at some of that texturing all around, it is nice. It has some weight. The comp, the bull barrel, it's only 4.4 inches, shoots incredibly well. Once you get that break-in going, 23 round mag and 221 round mags. Can you understand why I dig this thing and like it more than the P226 X5? That thing is awesome. But this thing really takes the cake, and Sig acknowledges this is their best 9mm handgun to date. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and share. I always appreciate the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, and you guys be safe.